Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again, and today's card is Tariel, Reckoner of Souls. For those of you who've been paying attention to the YouTube channel, I put a poll up last week. Obviously Monday and Tuesday's videos, we're now on Wednesday as you watch this. Well, you will be if you're in the UK anyway. The two previous videos, let's go with that, were ones that I'd already decided, and I put a poll up. I picked 4 commanders I haven't covered before, put the poll up, and Tariel won by quite a significant way. There wasn't that many votes, but it's still won. So, you know, keep your eyes out for future polls. But anyway, the poll was, what card do you want me to cover for the last 2 videos this week? So this is the first one, because this one, and it is Tariel, Reckoner of Souls, as I've said several times now. 4 red, white, and black for a 4/7 angel with flying and vigilance. And tap. Choose a creature card at random from target opponent's graveyard. Put that card onto the battlefield under your control. Okay then, so I need to get my opponents to mill their cards, and then I get to nick them when I get Tariel in play, because she costs a lot, 7 mana, and yeah, it's doable. I decided it's doable, and this is what today's deck looks like, and my thoughts on Tariel. What I'm trying to do with this deck is get my opponents to get their cards into their graveyard. Hopefully it'll be the creatures, which will help us out immensely with Tariel, but at the end of the day, we've got enough creatures. I think we can win it, even though there's only 26 in the deck. So there's a few choice ones in here. We've got, I'll talk about the ones that do the same thing. Burglar Rat, Elder Fang Disciple, Elvish Doomsayer kind of does it when it dies, and Croxer lets our opponents discard when they enter the battlefield or die, which means we should have some targets in the graveyard when we get Tariel there. Dockside Extortionist. Yeah, I've got a red deck on the go, sorry. The treasure really does help with this deck. And Virus Beetle does the same thing, each opponent discards a card, so we're there. I've included Vile Smash of the Fierce because I quite like having the random damage go to opponent, it's a bit of fun. I've chucked in an Anger. Hopefully we'll be able to get rid of this ourselves, either by playing it and getting it killed off, or just, you know, discarding it if someone else is playing discard. So Tariel has haste when she enters the play. Refurbished Familiar comes in from MH3, enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card, and then for each opponent who can't, you draw a card, so it's quite nice at 4 mana for that point. Solemn Sim goes and sorts our mana out. Tenured Oilcaster gets +3/+0 and has, as long as the opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard, whenever it attacks or blocks, each player mills a card. Another way of getting the stuff in someone's graveyard. Anya, Merciless Angel, I haven't played for ever. Gets +3/+3 for each opponent whose life total is less than half their starting life total, and as long as an opponent's life total, just one, not all 3, but just one, life total is less than half their starting life total, she becomes indestructible. So yeah, one opponent, half life total, 7/7 indestructible. Can go to 10/10 or 13/13 if you've got all 3 players in play. It works very nicely. AO the Dawn Skies here, just so we can return non-land permanents if we need to, or put some +1/+1 counters around. Auriel the Law Above gives us a bit of card draw when we attack, or we do a little bit of Lightning Helix with her as well. Yeah, red deck, Bonehorde Dracosaur's back. I know one of my regular followers and commenters was a bit disappointed I had a red deck last week. They didn't have it in here, so we've put it back in for this one. Frisia, Judge of Value. Whenever we cast our second spell, look at the top 3 cards of our library, put one in the hand, the rest into our graveyard. Karmic Guide is also here. Enters the battlefield, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. The Ravos, the Soul Tender, lets us just return a creature card from our graveyard to our hand if we got it in play. The new Sheldred enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or planeswalker, so feeding Tariel that way, and then if we need to turn it into the true scriptures we can and nick everyone's creatures, assuming we get to the level 3 with a bit of luck. So Conrad the Grim, we want creatures in the graveyard, so we might as well drain people when we have this in play. We're playing one of each of the original Titans, Grey for the zombies, Inferno for the damage, and Sun for the returning ability. The original Sheldred is also here. Everyone has to sack something and then we get to return it. Raya Dawnbringer, just so we can also return things from our graveyard to play if we need to. And then Triplicate Titan. Quite like Triplicate Titan. The more I play it, the more I enjoy playing it, so it makes an appearance today. We've got a few spells that help us fill our opponent's graveyards. So we've got Vicious Rumours. Dam gives us two ways of controlling the board, either destroying a target creature or they'll cast it for the Wrath of God side of things with the Overload. Crackling Doom. Each opponent deals 2 damage to each opponent, and each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power amongst creatures they control. Jessica's Will is here just so we can have a little bit of mana ramp and some card draw if we need to. Mind Drain, target opponent discards 2 cards, mills a card and loses 1 life, and we gain a life. Again, if we've got someone we know is playing the big green deck, target them with this and hopefully hit something for Tariel to use. Chroma's Will's here to give us another way of winning the game. I like Chroma's Will, it works very well from that point of view. And then we have a fair bit of bold control with Damnation, Fumigate, Capital Punishment, does the whole discard or sacrifice a creature, so that helps. The final act comes in from the commander sets for MH3. Destroy all creatures, all planeswalkers, all battles, exile the graveyards. Each opponent loses all counters. Yeah, it's going to just be destroy all creatures and maybe exile, destroy all planeswalkers and battles. It's probably not going to be the last two very often at all, unless you're trying to keep someone alive so they become a target. Blood Money, another way of blowing up the board and make sure we get a whole load of treasure things so we can cast our next set of creatures. And the final spell in the deck, sorcery, is Breach the Multiverse, because everyone milling 10. And then for each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards on the battlefield under our control. And then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexia in addition to its other types. Not worried about that, but that gives us a way of nicking things. Have a fair amount of artifacts. Probably one of the more non-focus artifacts, heavy artifacts decks I've had for a while. Tariel is 7 mana, so Jeweled Lotus is no brainer. Soul Talisman helps as well. And then we've got things that help us mill our opponents out. So Codex Trigger, Ghoul Caller's Bell, and Grindstone. I realise that this one and this one you have to target a player with. I'm very aware of that, but it might help us get there. And the bell just does everybody's, including ourselves. Soul Ring's here, and then Altar of Dementia, so we can actually sack some of our creatures off to mill someone. Might hit something big that way. Arcane Signet for a bit of ramp. One of each of the medallions, we've got Jet, Pearl and Ruby are all here. Lightning Greaves, along with Swiftfoot Boots, wherever they are. There you go. The Greaves are there, the Boots are there to help protect Tariel. Mesmeric Orb, whenever an opponent becomes untapped, that permanence controller puts the top, mills a card, basically. Another way of getting Tariel food in the graveyards early. Mind Crank, so when opponents lose life, they put that many cards from their graveyard, from their library into their graveyard. Mind Crank works very nicely with Sir Conrad, so we're here. A little bit more ramp with the Talisman of Conviction, Hierarchy, Indulgence. Commander Sphere also is ramp. And then we have Realm Breaker, the invasion tree, just so we can make someone mill stuff and nick their lands. 1000-Year Elixir, so we can make it look like Tariel has haste for her ability when she comes into play if we haven't got the boots or the orb greaves equipped to her. And Worry Beads, an old one from Mercadian Masks. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player puts the top card of his or library into their graveyard. Just constant mill all the way through. Does mill you as well, so be careful with it. Few enchantments, not too many. Doom Foretold, one ring to rule them all. It's quite nice, especially we can make it so Tariel the one that gets tempted. Virtue of Loyalty, just so we can chuck around some +1/+1 counters and untap all our creatures, which is nice when Tariel's in play, so we can do it each turn. It's not an instant, it's not a sorcery ability, as you can see from above me. No mention of sorceries here. Put that card onto the battlefield under your control. It doesn't say it's sorcery speed, so yay. And Virtue of Persistence, bit of removal, bit of life gain, and then basically taking stuff from graveyards and us controlling it. We are a bit short on lands. We are playing 35 lands, including a lot of the sack lands. Bloodstained Mire, Mesa, they're all here. Including the black-white one that I can't spot at the moment, but it's here somewhere. Dun, 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 dun. There you go, Mars Flats. Here, I've got it there. The rest of it, red, white, and black lands all the way through. 3 mountains, we're not playing that much red. 4 plains, 4 swamps. The usual selection of dual lands and a tri-land. And that's it. I had good fun building this deck today. Tariel looks nice. does what I want it to do. Hopefully I'll be having a lot of fun with this on stream when I play it on stream later this week. If you think there's anything I've missed out, I know I haven't played any reanimation spells. I'm aware of that. You know, things like Victimize, Living Death, so on and so forth. Well, maybe not Living Death, but you know what I mean. They're not in here. I'm aware of that. I'm hoping I don't need them. But it might be that I need to change things around and add it all up. But if you think they really should be in the deck, let me know in the comments down below. I do look at the comments. I do read the comments. I try to respond to as many of them as I can. Usually when I'm having my cup of coffee at work in the morning. I respond to them, so you know, if you leave it late at night, check when you get up in the morning, you'll get a response. Please, if you can, hit the subscribe button that should be down below me somewhere here. I am seeing at 441 as I record this, still trying to get to my 500 target by the end of the year, so if you can help out and hit the subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. Or if you want to see me play Tariel on stream, there's a link down below in the description again to the Twitch channel where I stream all the decks I put up on the YouTube channel, and you can see me on a Thursday night or Sunday afternoon UK time. Hit the alert icon thing, you know, when I go live you can come and join me on MTGO and have a game. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope everyone likes Tariel. Like I say, let me know in the comments if there's anything I've missed, and I'll be back tomorrow with a runner-up from last week's poll. Take care. Bye.